Get 3 coffins ready, kid, because our latest podcast, Make My Day, is venturing off into the wild and sprawling frontier that is Clint Eastwood's career. More movies than Stephen King has books, and more genres than all of the franchises we've covered over at the Halloweenies. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do they really need to start another show? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But being this is a podcast, the most powerful medium in the world for pop culture conversation, and Clint's output is infinite, you've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? Find out today and subscribe to Make My Day, a Clint Eastwood podcast now, wherever you get your audio.
Hello everyone. The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip. Joe, would you recommend this movie?
So this is interesting. I saw this, I feel like, after everybody, because folks, in case you didn't know, this was not screened for critics, so we went and saw it with the masses, just like all the rest of you, and I saw it after everybody else. So I had heard, oh, it's a total bullshit movie, it doesn't work, it's so silly, it's, wild twists every 5 seconds, blah, 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 and so I really didn't quite know what to expect, and I went in open and willing to take the film at face value. This is my long-winded way of saying I enjoyed this. Yeah. It's not a perfect film, but it is a very enjoyable film. I have quibbles. We're going to talk about them, but overall, this was fun.
I thought the exact same thing. And I agree with you. I don't think it's as silly as everyone is saying, but no. I also think it's because there is quite a bit of comedy in this movie.
And intentional. People are acting like I'm laughing and M. Night is rolling around in his grave. He's not dead. But it's just like, no, this film is meant to be funny in a lot of different ways and places.
I think, okay, like I'm not going to do this anytime soon because I just don't think I can handle it. But I would really like to do just from beginning to now, like a run through of Shyamalan's filmography because I haven't seen everything. But the thing is, I feel like especially recently, I mean, with films like Old or The Visit, like he does like injecting humor. Yeah, he's very playful. And so I mean, there was one scene in my theater where I felt like they were laughing at the movie and not with the movie.
Right.
And I'll talk about it when we get there. But for the most part, yeah, I thought everyone was laughing at parts they should have been laughing at that were meant to be funny, meant to be jokes. And so I mean, look, does this movie throw plausibility, logic, and reality out the window?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, 100% yes. But that to me doesn't make it silly. It's just Shyamalan doing what he wants to do to make his story do what he wants it to do.
But also, I feel like we knew that from the moment we laid eyes on the trailer when we read the synopsis of the film. The very premise of this movie is that we would allow a concert with 20,000 people to go ahead so that we could capture a prolific serial killer who is butchering people in Philadelphia. And this idea that, we've laid out all of this elaborate stuff, all of these bodies, so that we can get them at the end of the concert.
Yeah.
No, none of it makes any sense. So you're just like, it's dumb from the beginning, and you go along with it.
And that's the thing. And I 100% went along with it. I mean, look, going to the end of the movie, would they even let this prolific serial killer that they have just caught, would they let him stop to touch a bicycle? No, they would not.
Would they set up a ruse with his wife so that he could go in and be alone with her and possibly murder her? Maybe, but that is a huge fucking risk. I don't think that the police would behave in any of these ways. And that's perfectly fine.
No, I saw people that were like, I don't think Shyamalan's ever been to a concert. And that also may be very true. I didn't care. I didn't care because the movie, wrapped me up in its world.
But also, he absolutely has been to a concert because this is modeled after Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, and I totally 1000% got that.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, it's, his daughter and not the heir. Well, speaking of, though, but before we get to nepotism, will you remember this movie by the end of the year?
Oh, yeah. I think for Josh Hartnett's performance alone, I think that this is a very carefully and well-calibrated performance. He is doing sinister mixed with campy, over-the-top mustache-twirling villainry, mixed with genuine, heartfelt Big Dad energy.
Yeah.
And I was here for the whole fucking thing. Hereditary's nominee guaranteed.
I agree. Okay, quality of the film, screenplay, whatever aside, I thought Hartnett was so good in this movie.
He's so good in this movie.
Get 3 coffins ready, kid, because our latest podcast, Make My Day, is venturing off into the wild and sprawling frontier that is Clint Eastwood's career. More movies than Stephen King has books, and more genres than all of the franchises we've covered over at the Halloweenies. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do they really need to start another show? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself. But being this is a podcast, the most powerful medium in the world for pop culture conversation, and Clint's output is infinite, you've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? Find out today and subscribe to Make My Day, a Clint Eastwood podcast now, wherever you get your audio.